Got my whole face. Hey, what's going on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, anybody who's watching this today? Again, my name is King Sifati Akwame Damu, and the topic of what I'm going to be talking about is key Masonic hidden secrets, okay? A lot of people might say that, how is this going to benefit me, or how is that going to help me in my life? But in the long run, it will help you, okay? Now, we want to aim for the big steps. But before we can ever aim to the big steps, we got to start as babies. Like it said in the Bible, when we are not spiritually enlightened, we have to start as babies and start eating the small food as infants. But when we grow and start to grow and process, we start to eat table food. We start to eat the big food. Start to nurture the big food and big portions with every height that we go. Okay? So, in other words, what I'm trying to say is we have to crawl before we can ever walk. And we have to walk before we can ever mature our feet and strengthen our legs to even try to run. Okay? So, the reason why I'm giving you this topic today, because people, we need to watch out. Okay? We got to watch out for these conspiracy theorists. We got to watch out for these religionists. We got to watch out for the propaganda that people put out there for you. Because it's nothing but an entrapment. Okay? You got a lot of people talking about the Illuminati this, the Illuminati that, the Illuminati this. If you go on YouTube right now, or Google, or Yahoo, you have at least about 300 to 600 different topics on the Illuminati, the dark secrets, the NWO, the Adam Weishaupt, things like that. And I'm willing to bet you that 60% of it is not even true. Okay? Now, you got all these people that exposing this, exposing that, exposing this, and it's directly on the Illuminati. And everybody's actually focusing on the Illuminati. And what it's actually doing is putting fear inside you. Just like the news channels that we watch. 9 times out of 10, when you watch the news, there's always something that is depressing, that will organize stress, that will organize hardship, and that will organize you to sit there and think. 90% of the time, you never see anything on the news that is happy, that will cheer you up. When you watch the news, you do not feel happy. You feel depressed, you feel worried, you feel stressed, because some of the things that's happening on the news around the world might just happen to you. And this is what the media do to actually keep you inside of fear, to keep you in a box, control. And that's the same thing that these conspiracy theorists are doing. Some of these conspiracy theorists that go on YouTube and tell you about this and tell you about that are actually, some of them are actually hired by high governmental and organizational officials to actually sit here and tell you this, to keep you trapped. Reason why I say this is because these same people that's going on YouTube are writing books about this and doing this and exposing that. Where are they now? Are they deceased? Are they 6 feet under? Is their reputation exposed and exonerated and astonished? No. The reason why they keep letting them do this and keep going and let it keep going around, because some of these conspiracy theorists that is putting out this informative information is hired by high governmental and organization institutionalized systems in order to keep you focused on one thing. And while you're keeping focused on one thing, you're not seeing the other institutions that's really doing the effect. The institution that really takes effect, that is way bigger than the Illuminati, because the Illuminati only controls 3 or more societies and more categories. It controls the music industry, for one. It also controls the black society, on how it influenced them. Okay? The Illuminati is a low level of control. That's a low level of control. We have many more institutions and organizations that is much more powerful than them. You have the Bilderbergers, one of the most wealthiest individuals within a circle. Meetings are kept secretive, G4 classified. Okay? Before a president ever becomes the president of the United States, he has to have that meeting, which is financed by another big organization, which is called the Goldman Sachs. All of the money that the black people put up for this campaign, Obama never really needed it because he had Goldman Sachs backing him up all the way. So they already knew that the Senate of Chicago, Illinois, was going to be the president of the United States in the next coming 2 years or so. Okay? So you're stuck on one thing and nothing's being said about it. Nothing's being said to the government about it. Is because they hire certain people to do this. And the same people that's getting that information from these conspiracy theorists and these conspiracy writers take that information and expose it on YouTube, and it's nothing but a cycle. Everybody's telling you the same thing in one whop, but they're saying it in a different way, and that attracts you. Okay? When we should be looking at the major organizations and institutions that control and has the most influence on us. Okay? I know we want to get to the top, but the only way we can get to the top is get out of this little zone as conspiracy theorists and start looking at the big institutions and breaking them down. Not breaking them down with guns, knives, and war, but breaking them down by exerting ourselves from that. If you go to Burger King, or you go to KFC, or you go to any fast food restaurant or any business in the community, if you stop shopping there, if you stop going there for their products or their services, eventually they are not going to have enough income coming in to actually finance and keep their business going. And that is what these financial infrastructures are doing. These education institutions are doing. These religious institutions are doing. And what these agricultural systems are doing also. The money that comes out our pocket goes into there, and we are treating it at the stock exchange, but our money and our dollars, and we pay our taxes inside of these stores, and that keeps them going. If we exert ourselves from the institutions and organizations, they have no other choice but to fall. But then they have these big, wealthy organizations and institutions like the Goldman Sachs, the Bilderbergers, and plenty other more to finance and keep them going. But what is it worth? The Bilderbergers are going to say, the Goldman Sachs and other big-time institutions are going to say, why are we financing to keep this going when it's not benefiting us? What is going to happen in the community? Just like the drug trade. Colombia, also some parts of Africa. That's why the white man's hands are all in Africa. Okay? They're all on Africa, but tell you that the most of the drugs and the plants and the trafficking comes directly from Colombia. When most of their knowledge of growing the product of drugs comes from Africa. Okay? Now, you still on my face? Okay. Now, back to the topic. Alright? Masonic key secrets. And this is what you should know, because it's all a part of a master plan of what they're trying to do. Okay? If you look into the Bible, alright, Egypt is one of the worstest countries or states or name of individual population. They are the most downgraded within the Bible. And what they are trying to do, they are trying to keep you away from your own heritage. Okay?